Hi friends, we are back again and we are studying about different features of India, physical features of India. And we saw the great Himalayan mountains and the northern plains, and last we were seeing about the peninsular plateau, and we didn't complete it, and so we saw the different areas of the peninsular plateau and the different names that are called, and we shall study about other two important parts of this peninsular plate, of the same peninsular plate. Let us study about it. So let us see today about two Ghats or mountains that are there in this peninsular plate. One is called the Western Ghats, other one is called the Eastern Ghats. So from the name itself we can understand what is Western Ghats and what is Eastern Ghats. What is in the western side, the mountain that is in the western side, that it will be called Western Ghats, and what is in the eastern side, it will be called Eastern Ghats. From the name itself we can understand. Ghats means mountains. So you can follow your textbook on page 13, the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. They mark the western and the eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau, respectively. So, in the western side of this peninsular plateau, you will find Western Ghats, and the eastern side of the peninsular plateau, you will find the Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast, so they are remaining parallel to the coast. As the sea coast is going on, these Ghats are also in this parallel to that, in the same line, in same direction. And they are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. So the Western Ghats, they are continuous. There is no up down. It is continuous. And therefore, they can be crossed only through passes. Different passes should be there. Passage or road should be cut through the mountains. Then only we can reach through. Otherwise, we have to climb over the mountains. That is very difficult. So, it is continuous. And on the other hand, Eastern Ghats, there are rivers are flowing through. So, there is a gap is there. Through that gap, we can cross to the other side. But in the Western Ghats, there is no such a gap. It is continuous. And Tal, Bor and Pal Ghats in the physical map of India we can find. These are the three main things in these Western Ghats. The three the main places or main locations we can see. Then the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Now let us compare between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. One difference is the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Then their average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters as against 600 meters of the Eastern Ghats. So in the Western Ghats, the average elevation is between 900 to 1600. So that is the height. But here the average is only 600. So there is no much, it is much lesser. So that's why we say Western Ghats are very high. We cannot pass through the other side unless there are passes. But Eastern Ghats is only just 600 meter high, and so there are small divisions are there. It is not continuous. A lot of holes are there, and people can pass to the other side. Then the Eastern Ghats stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. So the Eastern Ghats, that is starting from Mahanadi Valley, the valley of this Mahanadi, and it is going up to Nilgiris in the south, that is in Tamil Nadu. The eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by rivers. So we said the western Ghats are regular, it is regular, but the eastern Ghats are irregular, it is up and down. There are a lot of low places are also there, it is very irregular, and it is dissected. Dissected means cut open. Many places it is cut open by rivers. So the rivers are flowing across. So that area is cut open and it remains so. Then rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. The rivers that are flowing into the Bay of Bengal is cutting through this eastern Ghats. Then the western Ghats cause orographic rain by facing the rain-bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghats. So, just like what Himalaya is doing, Himalaya is blocking the rain-laden winds or the moisture winds and make the rain fall here. In the same way, the western Ghats also they block this rain-laden wind or moisture wind and make the rain fall in this western Ghats area. So that is helping to receive more rainfall. Since it is high, up to 1600 meters high, it is able to block a lot of moisture winds and bring rain into our land, into that area. Then the western Ghats are known by different local names. So the western Ghats, it has also got different local names. The height of the western Ghats progressively increase from north to south. So as we move from north to south, the height of this western Ghat mountain is increasing step by step. And the highest peak includes the Andaman. So the highest peak, you can underline. What is the highest peak in this western Ghats? It is Andaman. What is the height of Andaman? It is 2695 meters. 2695 meters. That is the height of this Andaman. Then and Doda Beta, that is another highest hill in this mountain, that is 2637 meters. Then Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the eastern hills. But if you come to the eastern Ghats, which is the highest, that is called Mahendragiri. That is 1,501 meters. That is the height. The biggest one is Mahendragiri. It is 1,501 meters. So that is the highest mountain or peak in this eastern Ghats called Mahendragiri, which is having the height of 1,501 meters. Here the highest one is Andaman. It is 2,695. So there is so much of difference is there in height, the eastern Ghats and western Ghats. Then Chevroy Hills and the Javadi Hills are located to the southeast of the eastern Ghats. So, in the eastern Ghats, especially in the southeastern part of this eastern Ghats, we have two other hills called Chevroy Hills and Javadi Hills. And we can locate them the famous hill stations called Udagamandalam, popularly known as Ooty and Kodaikanal. So these famous stations like Udagamandalam, which is known as Ooty or Kodaikanal, that is also falling in these eastern Ghats. And on the other distinct features of the peninsular plateau is the black soil area known as Decantra. It is known as Decantra. And this is of volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. So this plateau is having black soil. And how this black soil originated? Because it is originated from a volcano bursting was there, and from there a lot of lava came out, and that is black in color, and that is also igneous. It is burnt and it has become black in color. That is how the black soil originated in this area. Then actually these rocks have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. So the rocks that come out from this lava and that have become denuded, become powdered, that has changed into different small pieces, got powdered, and that has formed into this black soil. The Aravalli Hills lie on the western and the northwestern margins of Peninsular Plateau. So in the northwestern side, in the western and the northwestern side, there is another hill, famous hill called Aravalli Hills, that is in the west and the northwest region. Then these are highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. So these hills, Aravalli Hills, they are eroded hills. Eroded means just worn out. It is not remaining in the proper shape. Just like the soil is washed out, it is getting worn out. It becomes smaller and smaller. Maybe due to human activities, cutting of trees, all those things, or grazing by the animals. So because of all these things, the hill is being eroded. It is getting worn out. When the rain comes, the mud is washed away. So the hill is getting shorter and shorter, lower and lower. And it is found as broken hills. Because of that, many places it is broken, we can say. The soil is washed away and so on. And they extend from Gujarat to Delhi in a southwest northeast direction. So these Aravalli Hills, which is in the west and the east direction, that is starting from Gujarat and it is going up to Delhi. So it is just outside the peninsular plate. It is going up to Delhi side. So that is about this peninsular plateau. It has got so many names, and we saw about all the different sides, what is it surrounded by, and so on. So, and inside this peninsular plateau falls Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. And Western Ghats, the average height of the mountain is starting from 900 to 1600 meters, while Eastern Ghats, it is average is only just 600. And the highest hill or mountain on this is Andaman, which is having the height of 2695 meters, while the biggest or the tallest mountain on this Eastern Ghats is Mahendragiri, which is having the height of 1501. So that is about the peninsular plateau. Now let us see about the next part of this great Indian peninsula. Next one is the Indian desert. The Indian Desert. Is it visible? The Indian desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plain covered by the sand dunes. So this Indian desert, it is towards the western side of this Aravalli Hills. Just now we said Aravalli Hills starting from Gujarat going up to Delhi. So it is in the western side of this Aravalli Hills lies the Indian desert. And it is an undulating sandy plain. Undulating means going up and down, like waves in the sea. It is not plain, but it comes up and down because a lot of sand dunes, sand mountains are there. As the wind is blowing, the sand is carried from one place and it is deposited in another place. So that area becomes high like a mountain. Another place it may be low. So it is not a level area. It is having a lot of sand dunes. So therefore it is lot of uneven or unlevel areas are there. And this region receives a very low rainfall, below 150 mm per year. So the rainfall is only just 150 mm per year. That's why the area is very dry and the soil is loose, and when the wind comes, the soil can just fly away. That is how the sand dunes are formed, because of this dry soil. And it has arid climate and low vegetation cover. So it is very arid climate. Arid means very dry. Since it is receiving very little rainfall, it is having very low vegetation growth there, and it is very dry climate. And streams appear during the rainy season, and soon after they disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. So here the rivers are originating there. As the mud is very dry during rainy season, the rivers will be very short and soon it will dry away because there is not enough water in the river to continue to flow and reach up to the sea. So before reaching the sea, the river will get dry up. It will go down into the soil. So that is the situation. Because of the dry soil, the rivers cannot exist there. It is too small rivers are there. And Luni is the only large river in this region. So you can underline. Though it is a desert region, most of the rivers are very short and it is not able to flow on for a long time. But there is one river called Luni. That is a only large river in this region, Luni. Then Butchans, that is crescent shaped dunes. Crescent shape means like curve. Cover large areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near Indo-Pakistan boundary. So most of the places it is like a curve. The dunes, and they are in curve shape. But in some places, when we go closer to the Pakistan region, there is also you will find longitudinal dunes. That means which are level. Not just like curve, but it is quite high and quite long. And if you visit Jaisalmer, you may know the use to see a group of Barchans. So you will find a lot of Barchans there. Barchans means the crescent shape or the curve shape sand dunes you will find near the place called Jaisalmer. So two types of Barchans are there. One is curve shaped, another one is long one. So both you will find, and this, especially the long one you will find near the Pakistan border side. Now let us come to the coastal plains. coastal plains. So that also from the very name itself we can understand. The plain area that is there near the coastal region, both sides of India, it is sea or ocean, and the plain area that is there along the coastal line, that is called coastal plains. So the peninsular plateau is flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal strips running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal in the east. So just now we finished studying about the peninsular plateau, and we know peninsular plateau is flanked by the stretch of narrow coastal strip. Flank means standing on both sides. So the peninsular plateau is in the middle, and both sides there is, one side there is Arabian Sea, another side there is Bay of Bengal. So close to the sea there is a narrow strip, long and narrow, that is plain area. So that is called coastal plains. So both sides of India near the sea, it is a plain area. That is not very broad, but it is very narrow, and in between that it is the peninsular plateau. That's why it is flanked or supported from both sides. And the western coast, sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, is narrow plain. So the western side of India, it is one side there is Arabian Sea, another side it is Western Ghats. So it is sandwiched or pressed together. You know what is sandwich? Take two pieces or slices of bread, and inside we put jam and press together. That is called sandwich. So it is something like that. This western side of the coastal plain, it is sandwiched, pressed from both sides. One side it is Arabian Sea, another side it is Western Ghats. It is between these two. And it consists of three sections. The northern part of the coast is called Konkan, that is around Mumbai and Goa region. Then the central stretch is called Kannad Plain, while the southern stretch is referred to as Malabar Coast. So this western coastal plain can be divided into three. It may be the top part is known as Konkan, the middle part is known as Kannada plain, and the last part is known as Malabar coast. Then the plain along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. So we come to the other side now. This is the western side. Now we come to the eastern side. That is along the Bay of Bengal. The sea, Bay of Bengal is there. In the northern part, it is referred to as Northern Sikar. So here also, the northern part of this is eastern plain is known as Northern Sircar. It is known as Northern Sircar. Then, while the southern part is known as Coromandel Coast and the lower part is known as Coromandel Coast. So, upper part is known as Northern Sircar and down part is known as Coromandel. And large rivers such as Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri have formed extensive delta on this coast. So this coast, the northern plains is very fertile because there are big rivers are there like Mahanadi, Godavari and Krishna and Kaveri. We can underline which are the important rivers flowing through this northern coastal line. They are Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri. So it has formed delta. You know what is delta? The good soil that is brought down by the rivers from top and they deposit at the mouth of the river. That is called delta. And like Chilika is an important feature along the eastern coast. So Lake Chilika. So in this eastern coast there is a famous lake. What is the name? Chilika. You can underline that Chilika is very important feature, important place in this place. Then we come to islands. You know what is island? Islands. So we have island groups are there, which is part of Indian Union. Let us see. You have already seen that India has a vast mainland, and besides this, the country has also two groups of islands. And which are they? Two groups of islands: Andaman Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep Islands. So, Lakshadweep Island groups lie close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. So, the location of the Lakshadweep Islands is very close to the coast of Kerala. And this group of islands is composed of small coral islands. So, the island groups or the land of these Lakshadweep Islands, it is made of coral islands. We will see in the next page what is the explanation of this coral. So you can see coral is a short-lived microscopic organisms which live in colonies. They flourish in shallow, mud-free, warm waters. They secrete hard rock-like substance. So the coral secretion and their skeletons from oral deposits in the form of reefs. They are mainly of three kinds: barrier reef, fringing reef and atolls. And the Great Barrier Reef of Australia is a good example of the first kind of coral reefs. Atolls are circular or horseshoe-shaped coral reefs. So it is small microorganisms and they secrete it and it becomes hard substance like rock, and most of these islands are formed out of these rocks. So it is a rocky hard substance. And earlier they were known as Lakadai, Minikoi and Amintai. So these Lakshadweep Islands had another names, three names it had. So first one was Lakadai, Minikoi and Amindai. That were the old names. But in 1973, these names were changed and a new name was given. That is the name that we know by now, Lakshadweep Islands. It covers small area of 32 square kilometers. So the total area of this Lakshadweep Island is just 32 square kilometers. And Kavaratti Island is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep. We can underline, which is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep. It is known as Kavaratti Island. This island group has great diversity of flora and fauna. So these island groups, there's a lot of animals, lot of plants are there, flora and fauna. They are very rich in this flora and fauna. And this Piti Island, the Pitli Island, which is uninhabited as a bird sanctuary. So one of the island in this Lakshadweep Islands is called Pitli Island, that is uninhabited. No people are living in that. So it has got a bird sanctuary. So they are free from human interferences. The birds can live freely there. So that is a very safe haven for the birds because human beings are not there. So that is, we can underline which island has got a bird sanctuary, that is Pitli. Then we come to know the next group of islands. Now you see the elongated chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal extending from north to south. So elongated means long, a long chain of islands, Andaman and Nicobar islands, which are situated in Bay of Bengal. And these are Andaman and Nicobar islands. They are bigger in size and are more numerous and scattered. So comparing to this, Lakshadweep Islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are larger in size and they are numerous. So many small islands are there. And the entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories. The Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. So we call it Andaman Nicobar Islands because it is spread out so far. And what is in the southern side or the northern side, it is known as Andaman. The northern part of the island groups, it is known as Andaman, and the southern part, it is known as Nicobar Islands. And it is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. So it is believed that in olden times, all these islands were mountains. And so slowly they submerged into the mountains and only just little bit is left now to be covered. So olden times it was mountains and now people are, what we see on top is the top of the mountains and people are inhabited there. And these island groups are great strategic importance for the country. So we can say these island groups that are on both sides of India, in the south side, and they are of great importance to our country. There is a great diversity of flora and fauna in this group of islands too. So just as we saw, there is a lot of flora and fauna in Lakshadweep Islands. The same thing is also there in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And these islands lie close to equator and experience equatorial climate and has thick forest cover. So these Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are close to the equator and therefore they have got the climate, equatorial climate. Equatorial climate, they receive good rainfall as well as they get good sunshine. So the people or the islands, they receive that same climate. So there is something, a general information is there. Do you know? India's only active volcano is found in barren island of Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. So that is a good general knowledge. The only one active volcano, anytime it can burst, it is active, and that is found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The proper place is called Barren Island. Maybe because of this active volcano, nobody is staying there. That's why it is named as barren, not bearing any fruit. And just as we are coming closer to the end of this chapter, let us just wind up on that what we have studied so far. So a detailed account of the different physiographic units highlights the unique features of each region. So we saw different regions of India starting from Himalaya and coming to the island groups. We saw each direction or each section or each area has got their own features. So we cannot say everywhere is same. India is different from place to place. And it would, however, be clear that each region complements the other and makes the country richer in its natural resources. And the northern mountains are the major sources of water and forest wealth. And the northern plains are the granaries of the country. So the mountains are the source of water. The northern plain is a granary because that soil is very fertile and people are cultivating there extensively. And they provide the base for early civilizations. So these people or this area that became the source of early civilizations. The civilizations developed there first. And the plateau is the storehouse of minerals. So we saw about the plateau, the Deccan plateau. That is the storehouse of minerals. Lot of mineral deposits are there. And the coastal region and the island groups provide sites for fishing and port activities. So in the coastal region as well as these Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar islands, they help us, or the people living there, they go for fishing activities, and they are also able to operate coastal activities. They are able to have the seaport, able to send ships, receive ships, and so on. Thus, the diverse physical features of the land have immense future possibilities of development. So since India has got these diverse features in different locations, different areas, different features, India has got a lot of future possibilities are there. India can develop, India can achieve so many things. So this all we have to, or the government has to take initiative, has to take some important step in moving ahead, making use of these possibilities, the future possibilities of development, and then we will certainly become one of the developing countries or developed countries or important countries in the world. So let's hope for that all our natural resources will be preserved and it will be made use to the best way that is possible, so that the development will take place throughout the country, and we all will be able to benefit from that. So that way we come to the end of this lesson, and let us take a few more minutes in order to do that exercise that is given at the end. The first exercise is choose the right answer from the four alternatives given below. First one, a landmass bounded by sea on three sides is referred to as, the answer is number C, peninsula. Second one, mountain ranges in the eastern part of India forming its boundary with Myanmar are collectively called as, number C, that also is C, Purvanchal. Then 3. The western coastal strip south of Goa is referred to as, number B, Konkan. Then question number 4. The highest peak in the eastern Ghats is, that also number C, Mahendra Giri. That is the answer. Then there are other questions are there. I will prepare and send it for you, and you will be able to copy it down in your notebook. Then after copying it down, you need to write your name on top of the page. Then take photo of that and then send me in my personal account. Don't send it to the group, but send me in my personal. But last time I sent the notes and quite many are still not yet completed. Very few have responded. So I urge you earnestly to write down nicely, study nicely, and show me. So just we have plenty of time and make use of that time. Don't waste your time. Okay. So thank you for listening to me. Have a nice time.